Talk about this week's Caring for Our Kids and sugar. Too much sugar, of course, can make us sick. That's why the federal government continues to urge all of us to cut way back on sugar. But that can be pretty tough when you have kids. Nodding in agreement.
Absolutely.
Is Dr. Chad Thornhill with GI for Kids at Children's Hospital. So good to have you come in.
Thanks for having me.
This is a big deal to talk about.
Yeah, very much so. And to your point, it is in everything and it's delicious, but it also is not the best for you.
Let's talk about the harm in too much sugar.
The big problem with sugar is it's a refined and easily digestible carbohydrate. So with all of the things that have really high sugar content, like candy bars, sodas, it gets into your bloodstream quick. And when it gets into your bloodstream quick, it spikes your blood sugar, and then your body has to deal with it. Short term, your body deals with it by some of the common things that we worry about. We worry about obesity. We worry about, even like tooth decay with the sugar being in your mouth. Long term, we worry about, blood pressure problems, heart problems, even like type 2 diabetes, things that we used to associate with adult problems that are now being seen more and more in kids just because it's becoming more and more problems.
Oh, that is so scary. So here's a question. Can kids actually have an intolerance to sugar? How does that manifest itself?
Very much so. So the technical term for table sugar is sucrose. It is very similar to being lactose intolerant. It is not quite as common as lactose intolerant, but the principle is the same. So you need an enzyme to help you break down that sugar. Some people don't make that enzyme. And so when you take in those things, the sugar or the lactose, when it stays inside your GI tract and your body wasn't expecting it, you will get all kinds of things. So all the kind of classic lactose intolerant, stomach pains, bloating, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea kind of stuff.
And you just flat don't feel good.
And you don't feel good.
You don't feel good.
And there's lots of people that have irritable bowel that, turns out they're more just intolerant to sugar, but they take it in all the time, so they really have a hard time saying, the sugar's bothering me, now the sugar's not bothering me, because it's in everything that they eat.
Everything. Okay, so when we talk about too much sugar, how much is too much?
For kids, 30 grams or less is what they are looking for from the FDA.
What is the equivalent?
That is about 5 teaspoons. So not tablespoons, but teaspoons. And it sounds like that might be a lot. 1 can of soda has more than that. So you're talking in like the 38 to 40, 42 gram category. The candy bars have more than that. So just with either 1 can of soda, 1 candy bar, you've already hit your max for the day, which is why it's such a big problem, because nobody has just one.
No, of course not, never. And that's the secret of carbohydrates, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay, so we need to prevent this. We need to learn how to read labels. So what are some of the key things we need to look for?
So again, sucrose, there's lots of names that it will masquerade as, and some other sugars that can be problematic. Sucrose is one. High fructose corn syrup is a big one that everybody knows about. Glucose, even things like agave, maltodextrin, just lots of things that it masquerades as. So it's even more important to look at that label and just see, even under the carbohydrate, it should list sugars now, which is a new thing that they're rolling out with.
I'm so glad about that. And a lot of people thought that agave is something healthy, but I had a trainer tell me, no, don't ever get it.
It's the same thing with honey, everything in moderation. So a little bit is good. I'd much rather you have agave and honey, but I would rather you have small amounts of that compared to just sugar.
Very interesting. All right, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And a reminder for you, if you have a question about your child's health, you can email me at ltucker@wate.com, and be sure to tune in every Thursday here on WATE 6 on Your Side News at around 4:30 to see if we use your question on the air.